Hello and welcome back to Not for Broadcast. If you saw the last video, I hope that is tame stuff. That is mild stuff. Mild as all mildness could be. This next one I think is when it starts to get a bit worse. How are you doing today? You get to the theater slightly early and Sam and Wayne are just to the nines. You smile widely as you join hands and take your seats in the private box. The tickets arrived on your doormat on Monday. Thank you from Chris. You'll get your passport back soon enough, apparently. The show isn't to your usual taste. Pretentious opera in a language you know for a fact that Chris doesn't speak either. When the show finally ends, how many vows do you stand in line, get your coats, and Sam has you in creases with a hilarious impression of the conductor, arms flailing wildly. The couple in front of you are talking about the relocation of people who couldn't pay their new tax bills. Sounds awful. Sucks for them. When you get home, you're still hanging as some I can't read that because the thing is private. You notice your 14-year-old son isn't home, and there's a note on the kitchen table in its most illegible scrawl. It says he's at a friend's house. It's a school night, so you go over there and march him home. You trust Charlie, he'll be home soon. Sure. He's got to start taking responsibility for his own decisions sometime. So what's that gonna... God, another one of these family answering machine crackles into who could be calling while you're supposed to be at work. This much from the Winston family. It's Miss Smith calling regarding your son, Charles. See, the woman goes on. I'm sure there is a perfectly reasonable explanation why he's in school today, and we hadn't heard from you that he would be absent. I'd like to remind you you do require all absences to be authorized in advance or in exceptional circumstances. For parents to ring first thing in the morning, please see to it that it doesn't happen again. Thank you. Goodbye. Wow. Consequences. Each you people. We work as a team, and we are rewarded as we forward together. A tight Christmas. You stay silent. Okay, left. Pause. You can pause to read this, but I'm not going to. So these choices are gonna seem really weird. Probably. I don't know. I just wish this would end. This is the most boring part of the game ever. I literally do not care about the character that I am supposedly playing as. It really, like, tries to be Papers, Please in some ways in that regards. But it just doesn't work the same way that does. Tempest. I know.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that was nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
Yeah, well,
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his fish.
No.
sorry, are you saying he chose his
The
imaginary
joy of
symbol
screws.
style
That sounds
over
lovely.
you?
I don't know why I talk to you.
It probably is a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might be.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amusing to us, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not adjusting well to the new future. It's often too easy to forget that not every citizen is thriving under advance.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hansleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the clock, so you don't miss a thing.
It's his once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sports.
And radical ideas. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a surprising new project that already has the markets raising an eyebrow.
Known for taking risks and bold strategies, could the adventurous CEO be leading the business giant down a dark alley or taking it to a new level of success?
We understand the Mobile Orientation Operational Borrowing Service will be a new international travel system based around the construction of a major tunnel through the centre of the Earth.
Oh, yes.
Remington claims it will make
Very
travelling
smart.
from one side of the world to the other the matter of an afternoon. Geologists are concerned about the implications of digging a hole through the planet, while flat earthers claim it should be quite easy.
With that exclusive prime ministerial interview coming up later,
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
you won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Where's my makeup? First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy.
Oh, that's
Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
My bad.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault.
As you can see, Megan, there's still a few balloons here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see
There might be
me?
some bleeps here. That's why I'm turning, adjusting the
Who's
things.
that lady? Mummy?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
You be careful now, it
She's gonna ask
upsets
you a
them
few
to remember.
questions.
You be careful
Don't worry,
now, it
Mr.
upsets them
Tadlock.
to remember.
I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes. I could smell him already. Yes. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes. That'll be the fur. Scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Bloody cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his raw action eyes He said you're my very best friend. But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here. She can't be for just $89.99. And then it's a general error. 41.
And is that when he burst into flames?
Look careful.
And is that
Oh,
when
yes.
then he exploded?
Look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there, staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
Oh, right, that's quite enough of you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions.
again?
And now look. Oh, you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
That's it. Enough.
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation.
I'm bleeding, am I not?
Thank you, Robin, Harry and stuff.
Any questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager? How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new Advance mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
She's very good.
Bed and crazy cushion Easter extravaganza. We're going to give you crazy bed prices. You want just a mattress? We're going to ship them. They're water damaged. And we don't mean a little light drizzle. We mean soaking. They're taking up space. This has got the crazy feel.
Alex, Boozman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the Sports Board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Boozman out.
Crazy meal this Easter. Don't be lazy. Let's get crazy. You want to sleep on your lawn? We've got flower beds. We have even got shrubbery. You want to sling a hammock? We'll throw in the trees for free. You need a sleeping bag? We've got men's sleeping bags, boys' sleeping bags, couples' sleeping bags you could sleep in upside down with just your feet out. We got beds you could sleep on your front, back, head. You got piles, we got cushions for miles. Michelangelo spent all his time on his back painting because he couldn't afford a bed. And we say we're going to come down on prices so hard they're going to look flatter than an elephant in a pancake throwing competition. It's an Easter deal with Neil Appeal. You want to come down and arm wrestle me? Ah!
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You joined me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our 2 players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. And, Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not up to last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker. For shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me.
Don't know why you complain. To Harris.
Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Football. Move back.
I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
Oh yes, does definitely.
Striker giving it large.
Second round. Harris.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow because it's quite an eyesore, and women's bodies. Yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, we've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Billington's Fish.
On my whistle.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket has been knocked over. I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Ballboy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these 2 players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to Striker.
So the goal is to not make it into the bucket?
And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harrington's counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. Tommy Harris. That's all right. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, it's sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Nonsense is going on here. Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a 9 round. Who could believe it? Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport. Hold. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting, juggling it around.
Does the person playing...
And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg.
As the announcer not know what's going on either? Is this just improv?
From Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it, like a car bonnet. On it, like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. Contestants in, please. And the winner.
This is very difficult, by the way.
Annual Sports Board Championship. Is everyone!
Okay, the ref has decreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon, looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Are you scared of the long, painful decline in your final years? Of being trapped in your own body as it slowly wastes away? Or losing your grip on reality? Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Now you can
again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance. The storm is playing havoc with the electrics, and you might notice the odd spark. Nothing to worry about. Happens all the time. Dave got shocked into a coma last year, but he was up and at 'em the next day. Anyway, our compensation package is is parallel to none. Good luck, Boozman out.
At the end of your stay, you'll pass on painlessly, surrounded by those you love, in comfort and luxury. Isn't that what we all deserve at the end of a life well lived?
Canada.
Our expert legal team will help you make all those difficult arrangements, and our aftercare team will help your dependents through the grieving process, ensuring your final wishes are carried out efficiently and compassionately, all absolutely free. Your health service, your team.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Minister.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers most. You know,
people who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Beth?
sorry, yes, it's
Which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Beth?
sorry, yes, it's...
When I was 13, me mam came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope. 3 days later, he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
Sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't. Or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
This microphone pack has just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I flickered from my asshole.
Are we still on the air, Peter?
No, yes. Sorry. My apologies.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got zapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a raw shell face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... Oh, my grandmother with a rusty twat by...
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started. We're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
So they just... I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I stopped the leak.
Well, that'll be it for this one. Goodbye, and please come back.